welcome to another episode of Carbs. The only show where I sit in the car and BS welcome to be Carbs. Matt Zine here. We are at Dickey's Barbecue Pit, and we're going to be trying a brand new sandwich they have. This is the MVP sandwich. Here's the description off their website. Dickey's is knocking barbecue out of the park. I thought for a second it was going to say, Dickey's is knocking barbecue out of the pork. It would have made me laugh a little bit. This summer, with their new MVP sandwich featuring slow smoked pork burnt ends and their triple play parfait. For a limited time, guests can score the MVP sandwich, which includes tender pork burnt ends tossed in a tangy barbecue sauce made with Coca-Cola and topped with cheddar cheese and pickles, all layered onto a toasted brioche bun. I definitely say no to the pickles, and hey, if you don't like that, suck it. Degenerate into something food. I just got tired of eating gross food. All right, this was expensive as hell. About almost $8 for this bad boy, I believe, for something this size. Which, I mean, that's, you know, it's on par with Carl's Jr. now these days, close to Wendy's. But if you're thinking like fast food, because Dickey's is a sit-down place. If you're thinking fast food, though, like, at least this is a specialty item, so I'm okay with it costing a lot. Whereas, like, going to Carl's Jr., I just don't want to spend that much. You know what? Let's try a little piece of their burnt pork end first. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, that's really burnt. Oh, that is very interesting, actually. That is such a unique flavor. Obviously, I don't taste Coca-Cola or anything, but it just tastes like really almost burned to the point of no return pork, but it works. Like, it's tasty. It's got a lot of layers of flavor. So let's get a big bite though, taste a little of everything, and let's see how this thing stacks up. That is really good. Wow, that is super tasty. I got Dickey's back in the day, like a little while ago. It was back in the day, it was like last year. Just on my own time one time, and it was okay. I didn't think it was that good. This sandwich, though, is phenomenal. This is super tasty. I will say, I think the weakest part is the bread. I just wish they had done more of a gimmick with it overall. That meat in my mouth, oh yeah. I don't normally go crazy for just meat, because really that is what dominates this whole sandwich, is just the meat aspect of it. Everything else just complements. But this is one of the few products that solely relies on the power of meat and the power of love, and it's really good. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 matte faces. I would give it a higher rating if, like, saying, the cheese and all the other ingredients worked a little bit more. And yeah, I know, no pickles. That's probably what it was, guys. If it wasn't for the pickles, it probably would have gotten a 5. Because if I was a normal food reviewer, I would have left the pickles on, right? I just spit all over my car. Hey, also consider backing us on Patreon, as we post main shows and mid-month challenges early, as well as exclusive reviews beforehand. Also, just exclusive reviews. We have a couple things up that are only on Patreon. So yeah, either way, thank you so much for watching. What are your thoughts on Dickey's barbecue sandwich? Let me know as well. And yeah, that's that. Love your faces, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Persuasion by Jane Austen, Chapter 1. Sir Walter Elliot of Kellynch Hall in Somersetshire was a man who, for his own amusement, never took up any book but the Baronetage. There he found occupation for an idle hour, and consolation in a distressed one. There his faculties were roused into admiration and respect by contemplating the limited remnant of the earliest patents. There any unwelcome sensations arising from domestic affairs changed naturally into pity and contempt as he turned over the almost endless creations of the last century. And there, if every other leaf were powerless, he could read his own history with an interest which never failed. This was the page at which the favourite volume always opened. Elliot of Kellynch Hall. Walter Elliot, born March 1st, 1760, married July 15th, 1784, Elizabeth, daughter of James Stevenson, Esquire of South Park in the county of Gloucester, by which lady, who died 1800, he has issue Elizabeth, born June 1st, 1785, Anne, born August 9th, 1787, a stillborn son, November 5th, 1789, Mary, born November 20th, 1791. Precisely such had the paragraph originally stood from the printer's hands, but Sir Walter had improved it by adding, for the information of himself and his family, these words, after the date of Mary's birth. Married December 16, 1810, Charles, son and heir of Charles Musgrove, Esquire of Uppercross, in the county of Somerset, and by inserting most accurately the day of the month on which he had lost his wife. Then followed the history and rise of the ancient and respectable family in the usual terms: how it had been first settled in Cheshire, how mentioned in Dugdale, serving the office of High Sheriff, representing a borough in 3 successive parliaments, exertions of loyalty and dignity of baronet in the first year of Charles II, with all the Marys and Elizabeths they had married, forming altogether 2 handsome 12mo pages, and concluding with the arms and motto: principal seat Kellynch Hall in the county of Somerset, and Sir Walter's handwriting again in this finale: heir presumptive William Walter Elliot, Esquire, great-grandson of the second Sir Walter. Vanity was the beginning and the end of Sir Walter Elliot's character, vanity of person and of situation. He had been remarkably handsome in his youth, and at 54 was still a very fine man. Few women could think more of their personal appearance than he did, nor could the valet of any new-made lord be more delighted with the place he held in society. He considered the blessing of beauty as inferior only to the blessing of a baronetcy, and the Sir Walter Elliot who united these gifts was the constant object of his warmest respect and devotion. His good looks and his rank had one fair claim on his attachment, since to them he must have owed a wife of very superior character to anything deserved by his own. Lady Elliot had been an excellent woman, sensible and amiable, whose judgment and conduct, if they might be pardoned the youthful infatuation which made her Lady Elliot, had never required indulgence afterwards. She had humoured, or softened, or concealed his failings, and promoted his real respectability for 17 years, and though not the very happiest being in the world herself, had found enough in her duties, her friends, and her children to attach her to life, and make it no matter of indifference to her when she was called on to quit them. 3 girls, the 2 eldest 16 and 14, was an awful legacy for a mother to bequeath, an awful charge, rather, to confide to the authority and guidance of a conceited, silly father. She had, however, one very intimate friend, a sensible, deserving woman who had been brought by strong attachment to herself to settle close by her in the village of Kellynch, and on her kindness...
Oh, Hillary Clinton! Nah. It's okay. You're safe now. No one can hurt you, Matt.